Good morning, students. Topic for today is changes in our environment. There are so many things around us like plants, animals, soil, rocks and water. All these living and non-living things form our surrounding. The surrounding in which we live is called our environment. All living beings adapt themselves according to the environment. So, we the human beings are altering the environment to fulfill our needs. And human activities like cutting down the trees, building more and more roads are damaging the environment. Have you ever heard about greenhouse? Greenhouse is a term given to a glass house constructed to keep delicate and rare plants that require warmth and protection from weather. The house is constructed by panels of glass. Glass panels allow sun rays and heat to pass through the glass house. The heat that enters the glass house cannot escape because the glass panels send back the heat to the inside of the glass house. Our earth is also like the greenhouse. The atmosphere, which is made up of gases, acts like the glass panels of the greenhouse and traps some of the heat of the sun. In this way, the temperature of the earth remains constant and it does not become too hot or too cold and hence supporting life. Gases like carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, nitrous oxide and ozone possess the property of trapping energy from the sun. These gases are therefore known as greenhouse gases. The natural process of maintaining the Earth's temperature and keeping it warm is known as the greenhouse effect. Have you ever observed that the car parked in the sun with all doors and windows closed gets heated up? Why? This is also because of greenhouse effect. So, the heating of the Earth's atmosphere due to the trapping of heat energy reflected from the Earth's surface by greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is called greenhouse effect. Human activities like burning of fossil fuels in automobiles and industries and cutting down of forests increase the level of carbon dioxide and many other harmful gases in the atmosphere. And this has resulted in increased greenhouse effect. Now let's read from the book. Our environment is made up of living beings and non-living things. Living beings include plants and animals. Non-living things include rocks, air, water, soil and all man-made things. Both living and non-living things depend on each other. Living beings adapt themselves according to the environment. However, human beings can change the environment according to their needs. Earlier, people lived in an environment where there was greenery all around. The air was clean and fresh and the water was pure. There were few vehicles on the road and only some people used electrical gadgets. As time passed, human beings started cutting trees for wood and clearing forests for land. The wood was used as fuel to build houses and various other things. The land was used for farming and to build roads. The number of vehicles on the roads increased. All this continues even today. Therefore, air, water and land are getting more polluted day by day. Whenever there is a change in the environment, plants and animals must adapt themselves to the changes or they become extinct. Next is the earth is a greenhouse. The earth's atmosphere is like a greenhouse. A greenhouse is a glass house. It has glass walls and roofs. People grow plants in them. The sun's rays pass through the glass and warm up the air inside the house. The heat of the sun is trapped by the glass and cannot escape. Thus, the greenhouse remains warm during the day and also at night. It keeps the plants warm and hence they grow well. Some of the gases in the atmosphere like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapor, ozone and chlorofluorocarbons trap the sun's heat and do not allow it to escape into space, just like a greenhouse. This warms up the earth and these gases are called greenhouse gases. Next is greenhouse effect. When sunlight reaches the surface of the earth, some of it is absorbed by it, which warms the surface, and some of it bounces back. The greenhouse gases present in the Earth's atmosphere absorb this heat and send it back towards the Earth. This warms up the Earth's atmosphere. This is known as greenhouse effect. Thus, the greenhouse effect increases the temperature of the Earth by trapping the heat in the atmosphere. Next is global warming. Increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has increased the Earth's temperature, and this is called global warming. The greenhouse gases are naturally present in the atmosphere, but some human activities also produce these gases. Activities like burning of fossil fuels, cutting down and burning of trees, etc. generate a lot of carbon dioxide. And due to this, the natural balance of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere gets disturbed. Use of aerosols, hairspray cans, refrigerators, plastics, etc. release another group of highly dangerous greenhouse gases called chlorofluorocarbons, or we can also call it CFCs. These are so harmful that even small amounts can trap large quantities of heat, making the earth extremely hot. And this phenomena is known as global warming and has a highly dangerous effect on the earth. As the climatic conditions on the earth are perfect for our survival, any significant increase in the temperature can cause drastic changes, which can be dangerous or life-threatening for all living organisms. The earth is being extremely warm as more heat is getting trapped in it. Some of the effects of global warming are as follows, like change in weather, melting of glaciers, increase in the sea level, flooding of places near the sea. Now let's read. Global warming. Global warming is the gradual increase in the temperature of the Earth's surface and atmosphere due to greenhouse gases. The Earth is getting warmer year by year. Since 1900, the Earth has warmed up by around 0.8 degrees Celsius. By the end of the 21st century, however, global warming is likely to cause an increase in the Earth's temperature by around 2 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. Even a small variation in the Earth's temperature can have a large impact on the Earth's climate and environment. Causes of global warming. The amount of carbon dioxide has increased gradually in the atmosphere from the burning of fossil fuels and electricity production. Methane gas is released by herbivorous animals when they digest food. Nitrous oxide is released from fertilizers used by farmers on their lands. Water vapor accounts for 30% to 70% of the greenhouse effect. Greenhouse gases like chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, which are used in refrigerators, air conditioners, and even in many industrial processes, trap large amount of heat. They are found in small quantity in the atmosphere. Different greenhouse gases have different heat trapping capacities. A molecule of methane produces 20 times more warming than a molecule of carbon dioxide. Nitrous oxide produces 300 times more warming than carbon dioxide. CFCs have heat trapping potential that is 1000 times more than carbon dioxide. But because their concentration is much lower than carbon dioxide, None of these gases add as much warmth to the Earth's atmosphere as carbon dioxide adds. Next is effects of global warming. Melting of ice in glaciers, Arctic Sea and at both the poles. Rising water level in the seas and oceans. Frequent floods and droughts. Changes in the weather which is affecting the crops. Some crops like rice grow better in high temperature, but other crops like maize and sugarcane do not. Migration of animals from their original habitat. For example, polar bears have to find new land if the ice in the Arctic melts. So we have to take various measures to control global warming. Like reducing pollution can help to reduce greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Every country should reduce the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. People should use electricity carefully. Reduce the use of petrol or diesel. Use public transport like bus or metro. Grow more trees and use recycled products. Many countries in the world have come together to reduce global warming. Some countries have even signed agreements, and one such agreement is the Koyoto Protocol.